We welcome our viewers and our listeners on Facebook Live. And today we would like to address some of the challenges that young people are going through, and especially during this time that they are at home and is a new normal, as the CS have kept on mentioning. But again, it's good that we discuss and share some of the things that young people are going through. And I would really support what we were doing last time, and even today I hope you still enjoy. Madam Rizi Wanyoike, who is a principal and a mentor, welcome on board, and Truvena, also a counselor here at NIBS Technical College, welcome on board. Now, I just want to mention this as we start, just to decide to start the debate. And if you're struggling, for example, if it's a parent who is struggling to keep their teenage in the house and sticking to lockdown rules, sometimes you find that many parents are not finding it easy because this is not something that young people are used to. Teenagers' brains, you find that they work differently than adult brains, and therefore sometimes they want to have their own freedom. And I would like to ask Madam Rizi, what do you think about these young kids? While they are still at home, they want to run away from here, there. You try to tell them, sit here, stay here, they don't want. What would be your comment on this?
Well, it is very, very difficult, especially for the very young ones. These very young ones were used to playing outside there, driving their bicycles, being there on the playground, doing all sorts of games. And they really loved that during the holidays, but that is a short period, or during the weekends, the ones who are not boarders. But now, as we can see, the situation is hard for all of us, including us parents. You have to put an extra effort to be able to explain to these kids without frightening them, and making it mild. Find a very good language whereby you tell them why they are not going there. No threats, no beatings, but just do it quietly, because this period is very difficult for everybody. Anxiety is there. And so you can just have a discussion, talk them nicely, tell them stay indoors for some time, and there's something which we are waiting for. Just look for something that you can tell your kids. For the teenagers, they know what is going on, and they understand. You are listening to what the government is saying. And I want to tell you that the government knows why they are talking that way. They are protecting us. It's not that they want to just be there, be seen on television on a daily basis. No. There is a very good reason. Understand that. Try to give yourself that space and time to stay home. And again, even if it's during the day, get to know where you are going. Take care for the rules and regulations. Now, it is a difficult situation, but together we can do it. We can change it. And we have to. We have no choice.
Wonderful. So to sum it up is that we have to face it together. They have also to understand, even as young people, even the parents are still finding it difficult, but together, if we were to support one another, this is possible. Auntie Trufena, we have been advised by the government to keep social distance. And some would say, why keep social distance instead of physical distance? And I know that we are missing that social contact. Human beings are social beings. Now you are not there with your friends. You used to leave home like young people, college students, university students. They come to college, they are there with Johnny, John Tess, whomever, every morning. Now they are no longer seeing one another. That distance has been created by this disease. What would you mention about that missing social contact?
The physical distance, actually it is there because we are not allowed to go and mingle with people. But what I would like to advise, especially now, our students, our young people, is you can still maintain being social with your friends. You realize that you may be having WhatsApp groups. Those WhatsApp groups, you can be chatting, you can be asking your friends how they are coping with this staying at home. And sometimes when you just share, you are not sharing to get a solution, but even that sharing and saying how you are feeling and how you are coping, that is very important, because actually it is the starting of the healing point. Then the other thing, when probably you talk to your friends, either through calls, through WhatsApp, through all social media grounds, when you share, probably whatever you are sharing, it will also be help to another young person like you. So as long as we are not meeting physically, I think it is not good to maintain that social distance, such that you cannot be able to socialize. Even if it's not physically, you can still socialize online. You can socialize emotionally, because take a case of a person who is going through some emotional distress, and she finds a friend and calls that friend. Even if that friend will not give you a solution, the fact that you have emptied yourself, that one will make you feel, and even by the end of that call, you will be emotionally fit than before, when you had not called someone.
Wonderful. And therefore, as much as we are talking about social distancing, we need to understand it's physical distancing, and not more so social, because you can still make a call to a friend, you can still even chat on WhatsApp, you can have a Zoom or any other form of communication with your friends, and therefore, young people, all is not lost. Madam Rizzi, as a teacher, and a teacher for many years, yesterday on the news, somebody mentioned that teachers are giving too much work. Every morning, a young person wakes up, 10 assignments. A standard 8 kid wakes up and find 14 assignments, and they're supposed to be handed over the following day, same time. Sometimes, would this be too much to a child?
Yes, it could be too much. The teachers are doing that in good faith. Naban is because they feel that the more they give them, the more they keep occupied. They keep them occupied. But at the same time, we need time for other things. You need time to understand each other more closely. You need time to socialize, like Auntie here has said. You need time to do all these things. And again, you cannot be there on your computer or smartphone or whatever, however you are doing it, just in books, that will bring even more stress. So I would advise teachers, wherever they are, to gauge. And personally, what we were doing here, we had put up a timetable. And that timetable was working very well, because it's just like going to college. You normally come to college at 8, they are there at 8. It's time to now take a break, do other things. Help your mom at home, help your dad, help your younger brothers and sisters with their homework as well. There's a lot of things that you're going to do, and this is the time to get to be together. This is not going to happen again during the holidays. It doesn't happen so much, because people are going for holidays. The boys are out, the girls are out, the young kids, the primary ones are left at home. This is different. So it is good for the teachers to understand the situation themselves, and even themselves, they need time to socialize. They need time to interact with their kids much more. They need time to chat with friends. And I have said in another forum that the idea here is to encourage each other. We need a lot of encouragement from each other. You need time to pray. Those who are prayerful, if you don't know how to pray, you can join groups on prayer, on Zoom, online, whatever, so that you can, you'll be able to, to spend time in all ways, with your schooling, your schoolwork, your social work, your work at home, helping your parents. All those things must be combined within this 15 hours, because you need 8 hours of sleep. So I think it's a matter of just making it easier on ourselves and
Yeah.
understanding the situation.
Ah, wonderful. And therefore, young people, you need to understand that as much as you have a schoolwork, you still need to get a time. If, for example, you can take a skipping rope, you jump, you can do some exercises. You can also watch television. It doesn't mean that it's a crime. You can engage in a cookery session with your parents, or if you have a house help. That day you can give them an off, if it's on a Saturday or on a Sunday, and then you get to the kitchen. Train yourself on life skills because they are also important, and they will help you. Madam Truvena, as a counselor,
Yes.
you find that we are running away from our norms. Even sleeping, we are oversleeping.
Yes.
Sometimes we are overeating. Somebody mentioned that they are going to the store and they can't find any food. Because the kids will get a bread in the morning, around 9 again, another leftovers that were there for the previous day. You know, we are running away. We are moving away from our norm, and sometimes some of these things that we are doing could make us feel, you know, scared, threatened, and a bit of anxiety and stress.
Yes.
How should we cope with this, and especially young people?
Yeah, that one, it leads us now to anxiety because everyone is anxious on when this pandemic will end, because you realize that this pandemic just caught us and we didn't have an idea how it came. Now, dealing with anxiety, I can start probably with the parents, because whenever there are news, and every time we see the news, if you check after news, if you check the faces of the parents, they all look gloomy and they do not know how to handle it. And that is the exact time that now our children are looking upon us to see our reactions. So what I would like to suggest to parents is to realize the habits that probably their children could be going through anxiety or probably through going depression. Now, to understand your child, whether he or she is going through anxiety, the first thing is it depends with the age. For example, if it is on 2-year-old or 3-year-old, if that child had stopped probably bedwetting and all of a sudden she has started bedwetting, she could be going through some anxiety because she is releasing herself through that way. Then the other thing, even the other time the CS for Health, he made a joke and he said that he told children that mimi sio mtu wa corona, but I'm the CS for Health. And probably you can hear your child having a nightmare at night, and he or she is shouting mtu wa corona, mtu wa corona. That means that this thing has gone into him so much that he is even having nightmare concerning the same. Such behaviors can be seen with the 2 or other 5-year-olds. Now, for the teenagers, it is about locking themselves in the room, overeating, as you are saying, or even under-eating. All those, they are signs for anxiety. And when a parent will know that, he or she will be able to handle his or her child. Now, for the parent themselves, remember they are also anxious.
Yes.
So we are dealing with anxiety and we are also anxious as a parent. So it is very important not to vent your anxiety to your child. I would suggest you call a friend, you call probably, you join a group and you vent your anxiety such that you will be very healthy to handle the anxiety from your child, because sometimes you can only give what you have.
Yes.
If you have anxiety, then you will give back
Anxiety.
anxiety.
And in fact, I would still like to pick it there and take it to Lizzie. To mention something on family arguments. Now that parents are so much stressed, you find every morning, you know, when sometimes your mates, you know, are away, you are thinking about school fees, you have lost your job, May salaries are not certain, you had a small business which is no longer there. And as a parent, you're seeing you have your 4 kids. Some are in Form 3, Form 2, 2 are in NIPS, and they require school fees. As a parent, of course, you will tend even to have so many arguments. And this is what will keep your young people out of home. They feel like they want to run away from you, because anytime, even if it's kitungu that is cooking in the kitchen and it happens to burn, you are so angry with very small things. How would you advise, and especially both parents and the young people?
Okay. I think that's a very good observation, and it is there. It is there because this is the time, this is a time when you are all together. And most of us, we have different ways of seeing things. First and foremost, I want you to keep on remembering that this is a difficult situation. This is a new situation. This thing is not going to last forever. So make sure that you don't make mistakes that you are going to regret after that, after it is all over. People have lost jobs. People have lost businesses. They have closed. I am a victim also of having closed both my businesses. The hotel is closed. The school is closed. But, you know, I don't know, somehow I'm telling God, I don't want to be anxious because you are there. And when you believe there is a super being somewhere else that you are calling unto, you'll be able also to support others. I'm telling people that once you observe so many or all the tips that have been given here, you may relate yourself with maybe one or two of them. Don't get yourself into a depression. It's not going to help. Try to say no. Tomorrow will be a better day. Tomorrow will be a better day. So that you don't just allow yourself, knowing very well you are okay before, and just know that you are going to go back where you were before. Me, I know 100%. You know, you may tell me, yeah, but how do you know? I know that things will go back to normal. It may take time for us to recover. It may take time for my employees to feel that they have gone down. You have rent to pay. You have school fees to pay. But life must go on. So ignore the repercussions, but think and be stable. Don't fight in front of the kids now. They'll keep on remembering you are adding much more fear. Don't shout. Don't even, don't overdo things. Keep an eye on your partners, on your children, your husband especially. He is at home in the evenings before he used to go and paint out with his friends. Understand him. If he was oversleeping, talk to him. Then you may find, in fact, this thing is going to come with some advantages. You may find that you are relating better after this because you have understood, you are discussing things you never did. The children are getting to know their fathers better. The wife is getting, and the man and the wife, they are getting to know each other better through hard times. Remember, you are here in this alone. When it comes to problems, you get into depression, you fall sick, you go to hospital. Friends will come and visit you for a month. After that, it's only your wife and your child who will be coming to visit you. So support each other, include your friends for painting out your problems. Chat. It has been said here and repeated here many times. That's the only thing we can ease our problem. But they are here, we are in them, accept that and deal with it.
Wonderful. And also for the young people, college-going students, as well as university students, we all need to understand our parents and also, being empathized with them. Put yourself on their shoes. See things as they see them. They are the ones paying school fees, and therefore, at times when you say that they are making a mountain out of an anthill, note that it's not that they want or they hate you. As we wind up, Madam Trufena,
Yes.
as a counselor, you'll find that young people have a tendency of thinking that this disease, COVID-19, is a disease for the elderly. And yesterday I saw something again on a TV, not a local television, but an international TV station, mentioning that in their country, young people, this was United Kingdom, and they were saying young people are referring this disease as an elderly disease, and therefore they can't understand the need for lockdown. For them, they are seeing even if they were to get sick, they will get okay and move on. What would be your advice, and especially here in Kenya, where even yesterday, I don't think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday, Governor from Murang'a kept on complaining that young people are just hiding somewhere in a car, they are enjoying their drinks, and so forth and so forth.
Yeah, I think young people, you know, when this pandemic came, everyone has had his own life. And it is very unfortunate that the young people are taking it lightly, because these are the young people that we need for the next generation. And now they are here, they are, you know, they are moving on like that. And I was so saddened when some police caught young adults in a house where they were going to a house party. And then in the news we were told that even there were people who are young people who are naked, and they were all arrested. So that means that young people, they are not able to contain themselves. They are partying, they are drinking, they are doing everything in the name of being young. What I would like to say is that this pandemic, it could be seasonal. It will come to an end. So you can hold what you have now. You can hold the house parties. You can hold everything else for the sake of your life and for the sake of others. And whenever you are going to those house parties, and even if your parent does not know or no one knows, remember that if you bring the disease home, even those parents that you love, everyone, even your sisters and brothers, they will still get the disease. So it goes back to personal decision, that we need to be so personal with our decision, knowing that this is now me and myself. And if I become reckless and go out there, that means that I will come and I infect my loved ones. So just as we were told that even if you are not going to contain yourself for your sake, you can at least contain yourself for the sake of your family and your loved ones. Now that one still goes back to the parents, that the way our principal is advising that every parent should not have fight in front of their children, because there are also children, and I'm not supporting anything, who are going out to escape the trouble at home, because when the home becomes so unpeaceful, teenagers goes to look for identity outside. So as a parent, please make sure, for the sake of this staying at home period, make sure that you make your house peaceful for your children's sake, such that they will not be caught outside there doing some, you know, bad habits in the name of looking for happiness, that happiness that they never got at home. So it is a two-way traffic, both parents and children.
Yeah. Wonderful, and I hope you have gotten the message. And now, as we wind up with Madam Rizzi, the principal, Leeds Technical College. Yesterday, Madam, there was an issue on one of the international schools, and this was featured on TV, where parents are a bit hesitant on paying school fees during this time. Yet the schools are investing heavily on a platform that will give their children materials. But again, parents still find it difficult to pay school fees, despite the fact that the school have invested heavily and they are keeping their teachers engaged so that the children at home can also be engaged. What could be your comment on this?
I would like to tell everybody, especially our parents, that this thing is affecting everybody. It is affecting institutions, and it is affecting parents, it's affecting the students, it's affecting everybody. And the issue of school fees payment, especially now for private institutions, unfortunately, because private institutions are self-reliant, they are the ones who do everything for themselves. They are not supported by the government at all. And they know that without money there is nothing they can do. The government will never come and assist the private institutions if they just go down because of lack of finances. So it is this thing is being done by lecturers, and they are done by lecturers according to their syllabus. It would be very useful but it is very unfortunate because when they say there is no money, for those ones who genuinely have no money, because of course not everybody's pocket is empty pocket. There are some people who can afford, but still they feel that it's not the right time to pay. There is one option which people are taking, our colleges, institutions are taking very unwillingly, and that is to sit and wait. They close down the e-learning, they close down everything, the teachers go home and stay without pay. All those things can happen. So people, when we are thinking about complaining, because there have been you receive some very rude messages, and you look at that and you wonder. You want something, but you don't want to pay for it, and it's normal. Even me, I wouldn't mind anyway. It's normal. So it is to cooperate, to communicate with the institution, explain your problem, but and it has to be, the case has to be both sides. Understand how that student is getting the material, and what is happening to them, because there are the lecturers and out there, especially these private institutions, they pay some of the high class. They pay very high. And then the students pay very high salary, fees. So this is a difficult situation. You know, me, I'm always my conclusion in all these things is there's a lot of confusion with everybody.
Yes.
Nobody knows the right way, and nobody knows anything, because we are all innate. Both the parents, I'm also a grandmother in a school. I'm worried about my grandchildren. The others will be. So it's just a matter of understanding. And it's very difficult for me to summarize what should be done. But I think every parent should sit down and look at the whole situation the way it is. Yes, we understand you are home, you have no money. Then it's good to communicate. Say, I have no money, but don't be abusive. I don't have money to pay. I would suggest this. And that way we can have a conversation, because both of us, we are in problems. So I hope that at least some people will see it, maybe from my point of view, depending on how you see it, and also look at the point of view of the other party. Look at both parties and make your decision, and then give us the go-ahead. And I'm not just talking about NIPS, I'm talking about all the institutions, especially that one went to court. It's a very high level primary school. Is it a high school? It's both primary and secondary. Very high level. These are parents who can pay. I don't know, but I think if you can pay the match they pay in private institutions, what does that show? Anyway, let's praise God. God first. Let's give all our problems to God, and hope that a situation will come whereby we end up being back, being friends again, and not making enemies out of this situation, but being together even more, understanding each other even more.
Wonderful. That was nice, and I hope those who are watching and were listening, you could really get something. And one thing all of us have to understand is that we don't know. This is it's like we are in a war. We don't know when it will end. And one thing, as young people, and especially those who are engaged on online platforms in running institutions, this might end up being the norm. Remember, COVID-19 will not end like the way rainy season will end and tomorrow we say there is sun. We might live with this disease. Remember, HIV/AIDS came almost over 30 years ago, is still there, but we have learned to live with HIV/AIDS. Who knows whether COVID-19, and God forbid, will be with us even longer than we think. And therefore, when institutions open, most likely we will use both the physical classes and online classes. And this is the time that even parents will appreciate, because we have again to save on time. Exams have to be done. Students have to get skills. They have to graduate and go to the labor market. And therefore, please support us as we move on this, because we are in it together. And it is not for any institution to make money, but it is to support the very students who need the skills. And therefore, thank you very much, and God bless you. Keep safe.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.